Listen closely, chosen one. What I'm about to reveal will stir something profound deep within your soul. There's a hidden narrative unfolding around you right now, a story that's been simmering in the shadows for far too long. And today, every secret is being dragged into the light. Somewhere out there, someone is obsessively pounding away at their keyboard, driven by an unrelenting urge to dig through your life, combing your social media profiles again and again, screenshotting every detail in a desperate attempt to find a single scrap of evidence that will justify the relentless campaign they've waged against you. But what they refuse to acknowledge, and what they're desperately avoiding, is the simple truth. There is no evidence. There never was. Every accusation, every smear, is nothing more than illusion, projections of their own darkness cast upon your light. The revelation that's about to emerge isn't just about their failure to dig up dirt on you. It's about something much more sinister and intentional. This is not mere hatred. This is spiritual warfare disguised as idle gossip and manipulation, parading as concern. The real danger lies with those who have become so entranced by their own fabrications that they can no longer distinguish their lies from reality. You've become their fixation, their waking motivation, their twisted purpose, and they've been at it for as long as your light has threatened to expose their shadows. Every step you've taken to better yourself, every documentary you've absorbed, every skill you've cultivated, every moment of peace you've claimed, they've been silently watching, memorizing your rhythms, knowing your routines better than some of your closest friends. They see when you uplift others, when you choose to heal, when you build something beautiful in your own life. Yet in their relentless quest to find fault, they've woven a whole web of accomplices, people equally invested in tearing you down. Through whispers and poisoned words, they've painted you as the villain in a narrative where, in truth, you are and always have been the hero. The true masterpiece of their manipulation was when they managed to get to someone close to you, someone who once loved you, trusted you, and looked up to you. They spun a story so intricate, so convincing, and packed with fabricated details that this person turned against you without ever seeking your side of things. That's the depth of darkness at play here, chosen one. This wasn't about simply hurting you. It was about weaponizing the very people you hold dear, using your closest relationships as instruments against you. What they created went beyond personal hatred. It became a collective movement. Imagine a group of people, each contributing their own brand of toxicity, each one almost thrilled at the thought of your downfall. They formed a kind of enterprise of destruction, a twisted alliance fueled by your pain as their currency. They became so drunk on their own false narratives that they began making bold promises to one another, promises of what they would do to you once their imaginary evidence was revealed. One boasted about having medical records that would ruin your reputation. Another swore up and down they had witnesses to events that never even took place. And a third insisted they possessed financial documents proving you were a fraud. Each person brought their own fabricated evidence to the table, and together they constructed a case that only existed in their shared fantasy. But the beautiful thing about truth is that it never needs an army to protect it. It doesn't require elaborate schemes or desperate late-night plotting. Truth just exists, patient, unmoved, quietly waiting for the moment it's called to shine. And that moment is here. The original mastermind behind this smear campaign made a fatal mistake. They became so obsessed with making people hate you that they promised receipts they never had, evidence they couldn't produce, and proof that was only ever real inside their twisted imagination. Now, as the people in their toxic circle start demanding those promised revelations, the entire operation is collapsing in on itself faster than they can keep up. That's the beauty of divine justice. It often turns those who try to destroy you into the very instruments of your vindication. The group that once gossiped about you now finds itself asking hard questions. Where are those medical records? What happened to the so-called witness statements? Why hasn't a single piece of actual evidence surfaced? Suddenly, the person who started all this is scrambling, making excuses, asking for more time, promising that the truth is coming soon. But soon has stretched from days to weeks, then months, and still there's nothing. Meanwhile, your life keeps flourishing in ways that directly contradict every single lie they've told. They claimed you were secretly struggling financially, but your prosperity is obvious to everyone around you. They accused you of moral failings, yet your character only grows brighter and more respected with each passing day. The spiritual darkness they tried to pin on you has been completely overshadowed by the undeniable light you radiate everywhere you go. And here's where the narrative flips. The very people who were supposed to help ruin you are now defending your name. Not because they've suddenly become your allies, but because they're tired of looking like fools. They've woken up to the fact that they were manipulated, used as pawns in someone else's twisted campaign. The orchestrator of this operation is now facing what they never anticipated: total exposure. The mask they've worn for so long is falling away, revealing the truth not just about their lies, but about who they really are underneath. Every accusation they hurled at you was actually a confession of their own darkness. Every flaw they pointed out in you was simply a mirror of their own brokenness. Their unhealthy obsession with you has cost them everything that truly mattered in their own life. Relationships have fallen apart because they couldn't stop fixating on you. Their work has suffered from wasted hours spent stalking your presence online. And even their health has declined from sleepless nights spent stewing in bitterness over someone who no longer even thinks about them. They've literally made themselves sick with hatred, while you have continued to thrive and grow in peace. But perhaps the most devastating revelation for them is still to come. The person they manipulated into betraying you, your soulmate, your closest friend, the one whose turn against you cut the deepest, is starting to awaken to the truth. This person, who once cherished your loyalty and love, who saw the real you up close, is finally beginning to question everything they were told. The cognitive dissonance tearing through their mind has become almost unbearable. How can they possibly reconcile the intimate, genuine person they once knew with the monster they were so convincingly told you were? The contradiction between your unwavering character and the damning allegations they accepted is glaring. And the answer is simple: they can't, because those accusations were never true. What you're witnessing now, Chosen One, is not just psychological manipulation, it's spiritual warfare in its most insidious form. The forces moving against you understood something vital about your destiny, perhaps even before you fully realized it yourself. They recognized the unique power within you, the influence you have, and the brilliant light you carry into dark spaces. That's why they targeted you so meticulously. They needed to stop you from stepping fully into your purpose. Nothing about their attack was random. The calculated way they targeted your closest relationships, the precision with which they tried to dismantle your reputation was no accident. This was a coordinated assault on your divine assignment, orchestrated by entities who understand spiritual law better than most people ever will. They believed that if they could isolate you from your support system, make you doubt your worth, or convince you that you were the problem, they could delay or even derail your purpose indefinitely. What they failed to account for is the powerful protection that surrounds Chosen Ones, a protection that ignites most fiercely when the assault is at its worst. Every negative intention, every lie they sent your way, has boomeranged back on them with amplified force. Each falsehood they spread has become a reflection of their own character. The relationships they tried to sabotage in your world have turned toxic in their own. The very spiritual laws they attempted to twist for harm have now turned against them, delivering justice that is both undeniable and awe-inspiring. Now the person who masterminded this campaign is enduring their ultimate nightmare: total exposure.